gather in Baku for the annual climate talks, let us first understand what are we talking about here. To start it from the start. What is climate change? Climate change simply means the Earth's weather is becoming more extreme and unpredictable due to global warming. Global warming is happening because of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide released into the atmosphere when we burn fossil fuels for things like electricity, transportation, and industries. Now, why is this a problem? As the planet warms, the weather is changing all over the world, including in India. These changes lead to heavier rains and floods, more severe droughts and heat waves, stronger cyclones, among many other things. This affects our daily lives by impacting agriculture, water supply, health, and even homes and infrastructure. Now, how is climate change impacting India? India has seen several extreme events recently, which scientists believe are made worse by climate change. Flooding in Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand in 2023. These states experienced severe rainfall this year, leading to landslides, flash floods, and destruction of homes and roads. Warmer temperature means the atmosphere holds more moisture, leading to heavier downpours and flooding in places that may usually expect such intense rains. Otherwise, heat waves across North India. India saw record-breaking heat waves this summer. Climate change makes these heat waves more frequent and severe, putting people's health at risk, especially those without access to air conditioning or cool shelter. Extreme heat can also damage crops, affecting food supply and prices. Cyclones in coastal regions are another impact which is being seen more and more in India. For example, the recent one which we witnessed in Gujarat, which led to destruction of various homes, crops, and livelihood. Droughts in Maharashtra and Karnataka. With the changing monsoon pattern, some regions experience more severe droughts. This has big impact on farmers who rely on rainfall to grow crops, leading to water shortages and economic stress. But what can be done? India is working to address climate change by increasing renewable energy sources like solar and wind power and finding ways to make agriculture more resilient to changing weather. Still, dealing with these impacts will require both global cooperation and local efforts to build infrastructure and support communities at risk. In simple terms, climate change is making India's weather more extreme, from intense rains and cyclones to long droughts and deadly heat waves. Addressing it means moving towards cleaner energy, conserving water, and preparing for more unpredictable weather in future. But why are we gathered here? Let's come back to COP29. So, COP is a global conference that happens every year, which brings different countries together to discuss strategies on how to combat climate change. So there are negotiations where different countries developed versus developing. They discuss on how to reduce their emissions, and nearly every country will work towards the past progress. That is the aim of this conference. And what can we expect from India in this? So this year's COP will assess whether the world is on track to meet the goals of the Paris Agreement signed in 2015. Under this agreement, countries committed to limit the global warming well below 2 degrees Celsius and to aim for 1.5 degrees above pre-industrial time. This target is crucial because scientists warn that exceeding 1.5 could lead to severe irreparable damages to human society. So why does COP29 matters for India? COP29 is an opportunity for India to push for climate change and consider the needs of developing nations. India's population and economy are growing, and while the country is making efforts to transition to renewable energy, there is still a strong reliance on coal and other fossil fuels to meet energy demands. So, what to expect from India's delegation at COP29? India's COP29 delegation, led by Union Minister of State for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, KP Vardhan Singh, will focus on securing commitments from developed nations. India's message will stress on accountability and importance of meeting past financial pledges. Even if climate discussions feel distant, the outcomes at COP29 will likely shape policies in India over the coming years. Investment in renewable energy, better disaster preparedness, and changes in urban planning could all result from agreement made in Baku. In the long term, COP29 success will depend on the willingness of all nations to collaborate on climate action. For India, balancing development goals with climate responsibility remains a challenge, but that can be met with fair international support and a commitment to sustainable